Novocaine is the second Jack Quaid movie I've been looking forward to this year, and I've got to say that he might be on a winning streak. While I do think that Scream 5 was a disappointment, he was still the best part of that movie, and I haven't disliked any of his performances since. Novocaine, unlike Companion, is a movie with a premise that I can actually talk about. Nathan Kane is a bank worker who was born with SEPA, or congenital insensitivity to pain and anhidrosis, which means he cannot feel pain. Nathan has spent most of his young life at home, so he doesn't have many friends, but he has a little crush on one of his co-workers. After going on a date with her, the bank they work for gets robbed and she is taken hostage by the criminals. Thrust into the spotlight as an everyday action hero, Nathan decides he's going to save her, having to use his SEPA to assist him in unlikely ways. I really like the premise of this movie. I think not only does it bring more awareness about SEPA and the dangers of it, but it also uses it in a creative and interesting angle for a narrative, and I've always liked when storytellers do that. I'm not familiar with either Dan Beck or Robert Olson, but I do like the direction of the movie. There are some pretty cool shots, and the action especially sticks out as the best part of the movie. Nathan goes through some really harmful stuff, almost like he's a cartoon slapstick character, but Jack Quaid's delivery paired with the well-written scenes and bits work together for a wonderful time. A lot of the comedy from Novocaine is derived from the awkwardness of Nathan's character, and it is sold brilliantly. You really feel for the guy. He just wants to finally have a relationship with a person after years of living in fear of pain. I also think that it's very clear that the writing process planned out how they were going to use Nathan SEPA to progress the plot, and the different scenarios they put him in. There's plenty of positions in the movie where any normal person would have a much more difficult time than him, and I'm a huge fan of the superhero movie trope of them accidentally fighting people, my favourite being in The Amazing Spider-Man, and Novocaine is just full of that. Every set piece for the action feels very unique and tailored to what they wanted to do with the movie, and none of the action scenes felt repetitive. The blend of comedy with some seriously maiming violence almost feels nostalgic, like the far, far away days of the 1990s, when dinosaurs roamed the earth and cheesy action movies paved the streets. The supporting cast of Novocaine are also pretty funny in my opinion. The robbers themselves are very theatric but not particularly interesting. Sherry is a character who isn't focused on for comedy as much, but I do like the scene of her tricking Nathan's former bully into downing a hot sauce shot. It shows her fiery character. Forgive the pun. And I understand respecting her after that. My favourite little touch is that she's also part of a therapy group, and Nathan makes a point to comment on her scars, complimenting her not just despite them, but embracing them. It's a short scene, but it's really nice body positivity and recognition of mental health. It's a cute connection between Nathan and her. But of course, no character is as awesome as Roscoe, played by the CEO of sex himself, the best gamer known to man who constantly tells Novocaine that he's going to get arrested. But seriously, I really like Roscoe's blend of comedy as a bit of a cynical and less positive character that was more realistically afraid, but still wanting to help nonetheless. In tandem with the action though, the effects are absolutely stellar. The injuries feel almost real, and I like that Novocaine gets more and more fucked up as the movie goes on, because even through the pain he tries to push through with the goal of saving Sherry, there's plenty of kills in this movie that are graphic as hell, but in a cool way that I respect a lot, honestly. It would have been easy to not lean into the gore and the brutal aspects as much for a more favourable rating, but I think it was a huge benefit to the movie in the end. And that final kill, honestly, is a little ridiculous, but my primordial lizard brain is screaming that it's the hardest shit ever. So, I don't know, take a pick, I guess. And the action and gore are really the focus of the movie due to how simple the story is, so I do respect the writers and directors a lot for focusing on it. I did have some small problems with the movie. There were several tropes that relate to twists that I won't spoil, but I did feel a little disappointed when the movie focused on them. The villains were also a little weak. They weren't focused on very heavily, and the motives weren't anything interesting, but there's ways to make uninteresting, selfish goals like greed and personal gain into interesting villains still. The cop characters were not very entertaining, and their presence and decisions felt a little contrived at times, but I do still think the movie had more positives than negatives. Also off topic, but Jack Quaid looks a lot like a young Sam Lake. Like seriously, holy shit. If I had any faith in him making his voice deeper, I'd want him to be cast in a Max Payne movie. I mean, he'd be better than Mark Wahlberg at least. Man, I still need to watch this, and I will make a video on it. Anyway, I honestly don't have much more to say about Novocaine. It's a fun, well-written romp with funny characters, a solid emotional hook from the beginning, and a really compelling main character. Jack Quaid effortlessly gets me involved in any character he plays, so maybe I'm just easily pulled in. The gore and effects are incredible, and the action is even better. Watch it with your friends, yourself, your parents. I'm sure you'll all have a great time. Solid 7.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching.